Russia, as part of their sophisticated information and disinformation operations, engage actively with so-called non-governmental organizations, environmental organizations working against shale gas, obviously, to maintain European dependence on imported Russian gas. That's my interpretation.
That's a clip from Anders Fogh Rasmussen, who used to be the head of NATO. You heard the man. He said that Russia was taking money to fund anti-fracking, anti-drilling groups in Europe to remove the possibility for Europe to be self-sufficient for natural gas. There's a lot of natural gas in the shale across Poland, across France, even in Germany. But for, $50 million to environmental groups, that stopped $50 billion in oil and gas development, making it so they had to buy from Gazprom and other Russian energy companies. Well, finally, the chickens have come home to roost. Europe simply cannot quit that Russian oil and gas. America says it will turn off the taps to Russia, but incredibly, instead of opening up the Keystone XL pipeline or more drilling in America, just shocking to me, Joe Biden said he's going to ask the conflict oil countries in the world, including Saudi Arabia and Venezuela, and possibly even Iran, to produce more oil. Joining us now to talk about this extreme situation is our friend Mark Morano, the boss of ClimateDepot.com. Mark, great to see you again. I think it's incredible that Joe Biden literally is choosing foreign conflict oil over American and Canadian ethical oil. I never thought I'd see the day, but we're seeing it.
We are, Ezra, and of course you forged the way on this. We were just talking, almost a decade ago when we were talking about this, and you were pushing that concept of the ethical oil. And what the Biden administration is doing right now, by shutting out Canadian oil, by shutting out U.S. domestic oil, all it's done is empower Russia's Putin, Iran, OPEC, Venezuela, and of course the green energy mandates have empowered China, which the U.S. is buying about 90% of our solar panels there, all the rare earth mining, the cobalt in Africa using underage, the slave labor in China. It is an incredible situation. It's literally turned logic, scientific evidence, and energy reality on its head. But they're not giving up. They're putting sanctions on Russia, but they refuse to lift the sanctions on U.S. and Canadian domestic energy.
Well, that's a great point. I mean, Biden literally canceled the Keystone XL pipeline, but he did approve the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. I mean, yes. Whether or not it continues to be built, I don't know. But Nord Stream 1, Germany cannot cut off Russia. Poland cannot. They're talking about giving military aid to Ukraine, but they're still financing Russia every day by buying Russian oil. The only true sanctions put on any oil company are Biden putting them on Canadian American producers. You know what caught my attention, Mark? When Elon Musk made this tweet last week, Elon Musk, yes, the boss of Tesla, everybody knows he's a big green energy guy, but he said that he supports oil and gas, and that's what America needs now. And maybe one day, it'll be a green energy economy, but it's not there now. I was surprised by what Elon Musk said. What do you think?
Well, I honestly believe, if you know the film The Matrix, that Elon Musk has been red-pilled. This is not the same Elon Musk from 2 or 3 years ago. He started against the lockdowns. Then he was against the vaccine mandates. He's been speaking out about anti-COVID stuff for a long time, upsetting the liberals, the Biden administration, all the lockdown left, if you will. So now he's coming out with some serious energy reality on Keystone and oil and domestic thing. It's an amazing thing. I just think that his worldview has shifted. He's been red-pilled. There's no other explanation for that. Elon Musk is a very important elite person, if you will, one of the wealthiest men in the world. He may be the wealthiest. I can't keep track of that. But this is a man who is speaking his mind and speaking it freely, and they can't cancel him. And that's the problem here. But he gets it.
That's an excerpt from my daily show, the Ezra Levant Show. Every day I do a monologue on the news of the day, then I interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. You gotta subscribe. Go to rebelnews.com.